What's up everybody, it's your boy DudePlays here and I'm back with some more YouTube reaction videos for you guys. So today we're checking out Valve just changed how mods work on Steam. This is really interesting to me. I'm going to go ahead and check it out, but before we do, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. My socials are in the description. With that said, let's get into it.
We've all been there. You spend 40 hours carefully curating the perfect mod list. You've got the 4K textures, the overhauled combat mechanics. It's perfect. You go to sleep and while you're dreaming, an update happens. You wake up, launch the game, and nothing. The game crashes to your desktop. The modders haven't updated their files yet, and you're stuck in what gamers call modding purgatory. A developer releases a patch, and in the process, they break your game. For years, this has been the tax we pay for modding, but Valve just decided that they've had enough. With a massive under-the-radar update to the Steam Workshop and the Steamworks SDK, Valve is introducing a system that effectively acts as a time machine for your mods. Steam is finally fixing broken mods, and the way it works is actually genius. Now,
Okay, so as he speaks about that, they update the game and it breaks your mods. I've had that issue, not often, but I've had it. The only games I've really been interested in modding are one, Minecraft. That game was designed to be modded. That game is easy to mod. And GTA, particularly 5. Now, what I usually do is, and I actually have 2 copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 now. Let me go to my desktop and show y'all. Look, I have Grand Theft Auto 5 modded version, and I have Grand Theft Auto 5 Legacy. The reason I have Legacy and not Enhanced, even though Enhanced uses less storage, is because Legacy allows me to use FiveM, which I plan to make videos on. I've been lazy with that. So I have 2 copies of the game. That's how I circumvented that. And my mods run separate, and when I want to play online, I just go to the legit copy. I have enough storage for that. So I'm good. That's how I fixed that. But I definitely can relate to them updating the game and then it just breaks and then you have to wait 2 days or a week even for the mod developers to create an updated version of that plugin file that hook injects into the game's memory and allows you to mod, and you need it to mod. And then your game crashes and then you have to check which file is what's causing the error, and then you have to trace your steps and remember when it was working last and what you did before it stopped working, all of that BS.
now, it actually
But
makes
let's get back
sense
to
for
this.
Valve to implement these changes given their history. Much of Valve's own success is built directly on the
Is this early
foundation
game, Ben?
of the modding community. Games that define the industry today like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, and Dota all originated as community-made mods. Valve's approach has historically been to embrace these creators rather than restrict them, often hiring the original modders to develop these projects into standalone titles. By introducing these new workshop tools, Valve is acknowledging that modding is a primary pillar of the modern gaming ecosystem, rather than just a niche hobby. To understand why this is a revolutionary shift, we have to look at why mods break in the first place. Most people think that a game update just adds new stuff, but under the hood, an update changes the game's version branch. Think of a game like a house. A mod is like a custom-built bookshelf designed to fit perfectly into a specific corner of the living room. When a developer updates the game, they might move that wall by 2 inches. Suddenly, your custom bookshelf doesn't fit, and it's not.
Yeah, they might change things in the file system as well, and it might not necessarily be put in the patch notes because there's no reason for it to be, because it doesn't add any content for you, the end user. That's just under the hood game mechanic stuff. The technical stuff, when they're talking about updates, the only thing they're going to list is the things that add content for you, the player. They're not going to tell you about the underlying technical changes, the file system, how this system is managed. That doesn't matter to you. So I see where he's coming from with that, and that is facts.
In the past, Steam only cared about the latest version. It forced everyone onto the newest build. If your mods weren't ready for that build, you were out of luck. You had to manually go into the beta settings and hope the developer kept an old version of the game available, which most didn't. Valve's new solution is called Workshop Item Versioning. This isn't just a small UI change, it's a fundamental rework framework of how Steam communicates with your hard drive. The update allows mod authors to upload multiple simultaneous versions of the same mod. In the old days, if a modder updated their game for game version 1.5, it would overwrite the version for game version 1.4. If you were still playing on the old version of the game, your mod would update and automatically break your game anyway. It was a lose-lose situation. With version 1.4.
Wait, hold on, let me hear that again.
If you were still playing on the old version of the game, your mod would update and automatically break your game anyway. It was a lose-lose situation. Now the modder can say, here is the version for game 1.4 and here is the version for game 1.5. Steam is now smart enough to look at your game and say, oh, I see you are still playing on the old patch. I will ignore the new mod update and keep you on the version that actually works for you. For the tech curious, this system relies on 3 major pillars. Pillar 1 is the deliberate developer configuration. The foundation of this entire system starts with the game developers. Before now, beta branches were often a messy hidden menu in the Steam settings. Valve is now requiring developers to be deliberate. They have to organize their game builds into a chronological order, like a historical timeline, and explicitly enable game branch versions in their workshop settings. This is the signal to Steam and to modders that the developer is committed to version control. When you see this new description under the enabled features icon on a Games Workshop page, you'll know the developer has officially unlocked this time travel capability for your mods. Pillar 2 is multiple simultaneous mod versions. This is a massive technical shift for the entire history of the Steam Workshop. A mod was basically a single file. If a modder updated it, the old version was gone forever, replaced by the new one. Now Steam allows for multiple simultaneous versions of the same item to exist at once. This allows mod authors to keep a legacy version of their mods alive for people who don't want to update their game, while still providing a
And then sometimes too, the updated version of the mod might remove a feature that you used to use, and now you can't. You'd have to scour the internet for that, and then you have to download the build of the game that supports that. So, yeah, that's really important as well.
Pillar 3 is the intelligent range system. This is the brain that makes the whole thing work. Mod authors can now specify a range of game versions that their mod supports. If it's a simple mod, the author
and Minecraft, which, worst example, well, best and worst because Minecraft is designed to be modded, but with that game, if you say you download a jar file, which is what the mods are contained in, jar files, we all know this, everybody mods Minecraft, this is common knowledge. It tells you the range, so it might support 1.8 to 1.12.2, that's what I play on. Yes, I know it's super old, but there's this cool Benten add-on that's made for it and I love it. But anyway, back on topic. So it tells you the earliest, the oldest, and the latest version it supports. So Minecraft is a lot like that. When I'm browsing for mods for Minecraft, I experienced that, so I relate to that heavily.
And leave it
Let's continue.
And Steam will assume it works with every version of the game. If it's a complex mod, the author can lock it to a specific range, like it only works on game version 1.4 to 1.6. The best part of this, it's all automatic for the gamer. If you are playing on an older version of a game, Steam will look at that range data, ignore the newest version of the mod, and automatically download the latest version that actually fits your game. You don't have to click any extra buttons. Steam does the work in the background to ensure your mod version matches your game version. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, Nexus mods. For a decade, the hardcore modding community has looked down on the Steam Workshop because Nexus allowed for version control. You could always go to the Files tab on Nexus and download an older version of a mod. Steam Workshop was seen as the casual option because it forced updates on you and you had very little control. If developers and modders actually use this, Steam becomes the safest place to mod your game because the platform itself is managing the compatibility for you. And I know some of you might be thinking, I don't play complex mods, why does this matter to me? It matters because of the Bethesda effect. When Fallout 4 received its next-gen update, it broke the Fallout 4 script extender because so many mods rely on that one tool. Thousands of people found their games unplayable.
Kind of like GTA 5. For those of you that mod that game, there's something called Scripthook V, and it's literally what allows you to even start modding in the first place. So if an update broke that, And they usually do. You'd have to wait for the dev. I think it's Alexander Blade it was. I believe he also did some modding work for San Andreas. Alexander Blade. That's the mod author name. So you'd have to wait for them to patch that to release the new version for that newly updated version of the game. And then you can mod again. So yeah, that sucks. I've never modded Fallout. I have it. I played a little bit of Fallout 4 on my Steam Deck. I got to the point where I got my first power armor. I haven't played in weeks, months, I think, even. It's right beside me, the Steam Deck right there. But yeah, this sucks. I can relate to this.
If Fallout 4 was utilizing the Steam Workshop when this system was in
place, that's the suit I have.
Those players wouldn't have felt a thing. Their Steam client would have seen the mismatch and kept their games on the pre-next-gen branch until the modders had time to catch up. This is huge for games like Stellaris and Crusader Kings 3, where every DLC update changes the map and breaks tons of mods, plus many other games that are dependent on mods. Now, I promise to be realistic with you. Is this going to fix every modded game tomorrow? And the honest truth is no. Here is why. The system is opt-in. For this to work, 3 things have to happen. Number 1, the game developer has to care enough to set up and name their game branches properly. Number 2, the mod author has to take the time to tag their mod versions correctly. And number 3, the player has to be playing a game that actually uses the Steam Workshop. If you're playing a game where the developer has abandoned the project, or a mod where the creator hasn't logged in since 2019, this system won't magically fix those old files.
I imagine that's most games, but yeah. I doubt the devs are gonna care that much to put the numbering system on the games, like version 1.03576. I don't think they care that much. I think most devs are against modding. Most of them are. So when I heard that first point, I already knew it was DOA.
For the future of modding.
For the most part.
Where we, as a community of gamers, have to play a role. Developers often think that once they release a patch, their job is done. They don't realize that by not providing legacy branches, they are hurting their most dedicated fans, the ones who keep their games alive for years through modding. We need to start asking developers, are you enabling Steam branch versions? We need to show them that this is a feature we value, as it's a win-win for them too. If they enable this, they get fewer "your update broke my game" complaints in their Steam reviews. So in the grand scheme of things, this is one of the most important updates Valve has ever.
I just realized he put the Steam Machine companion cube thing here.
Steam. It's not flashy like a new UI or a summer sale, but it addresses the single biggest pain point of being a PC gamer. Valve is finally treating modding not just as a side hobby, but as a core pillar of the Steam experience. They are giving us the tools to preserve our gaming history and protect our save files from the chaos of the update cycle. The next time a major update drops for your favorite game, you might not have to panic. You might just see a little notification saying Steam is ensuring your mods are compatible, and that honestly is the dream. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on everything about Steam and Valve, don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, that was such an abrupt ending. But yeah, let's see what the comments say. Valve can't stop winning. You know, I forgot to say this during the duration of the video. What are you gonna do now, Todd? It just works, Howard. I don't get that reference. But yeah, this stay catching taking straight W's. Valve is just doing everything I want, I swear. I cannot wait to get my hands on a Steam frame. I'm gonna look for a Steam frame video. That was it, guys. I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.